German Brown is ready, looking to send Spanish Town Police into the Premier League. Referee whistle goes. German Brown! That's a goal!
Last season saw the parish of Clarendon hit with a double whammy as both Vere and Humble Lion were relegated to Tier 2. Their replacements are flying the flag high for St. Catherine and St. Elizabeth, but can they survive stepping up to the big leagues? This is the Treasure Beach and Spanish Town Police FC season preview. Yes people, welcome back to JPL Fan, and as per usual, we are kicking off the new JPL season previews with the league new boys. We will begin in St. Bess as Treasure Beach make their long-awaited return after sitting out a year. They are of course hoping to make it a much longer stay this time around, and they will be looking to do so largely off the backs of majority of the same squad that got them promoted. And who can blame them? Treasure Beach was near perfect throughout their year in Tier 2, going undefeated for majority of the campaign, only losing at the final hurdle in the Tier 2 final. Their stubborn backline was the source of their power after ending the season with 6 straight clean sheets and 11 in total over the course of the season. But of course, they will face a much sterner test in the JPL, one they failed miserably back in the 2023-2024 season after crashing and burning in the latter half of the season. They started that season well enough, especially for newcomers, but they failed to improve the squad enough in the January transfer market and thus eventually run out of gas towards the end. Now you would think they will learn from that experience and will have better things in place this time around for the long haul. And speaking of experience, the club drafted in a very experienced coach with the arrival of Lilval Paula Wilson as the new assistant. Wilson is no newbie to the top flight after his previous stops at Reno, Sporting Central Academy and Humberland FC. It will be fascinating to see if it all comes together to keep them in the league this time around. Key arrivals and departures. So at this current juncture in the transfer market and at this current time of recording, Treasure Beach are a bit quiet on their transfer dealings. But based on rumors and reports from their preseason so far, they seem to pick up some interesting players, well, if it all becomes official. This includes former Humberland players Kareem Bryan and Sue J. Graham, who of course brings with them JPL experience, as well as former Lions United winger Richard Cooden, and what may end up being their biggest acquisition yet, Ryan Porter from Met Forest. As for key departures, again I can only list it as a rumor at this moment, but it seems Remario Smith, who has been a cornerstone in their defense the last 2 seasons, has been released by the club. Key players to watch. If it turns out to be official and they grab Ryan Porter from Med Forest, then he will be a key player to watch for this team. Sure, their defense and goalkeeper were spectacular last season, but they weren't exactly all guns blazing when it came to the attack. And a player like Porter, who was the leading goal scorer in the Tier 2 last season, may just provide the goals they need to keep the wins coming in the JPL. I mean, we have seen with the last 2 Tier 2 Golden Boot winners that they transition well at this level. Their main aim this season. Treasure Beach would love to have a fairy tale season like Racing last year and fight for a playoff spot, but I'm quite sure if you offer them survival right now, they would take it in a heartbeat. My predictions. Speaking of Racing, they completely shut me up with their glowing performances this past season after I predicted them to finish dead last, so take these new predictions with a grain of salt. But despite current rumored arrivals and also what should end up being a great home advantage at Bread's Sports Park if it gets approved, I still think they will need more firepower to stay in the league. I will pencil them in for a 13th place finish as of now. So that's it folks for St. Elizabeth, but what about the team that bested them in the Tier 2 final? Spanish Town Police FC are the latest pride and joy of St. Catherine football and will no doubt be the real underdog story this upcoming season. They had no real standout characteristics about them in the attack nor the defense, but what they do lack in overall squad talent, they make up for it, and I kid you not, with heart. And before you come at me about this sounding too much like a narrative straight from a sports movie, this pic right here on screen will explain everything perfectly. After 10 games, Police were 5th in Group A with just 5 wins and 4 losses, a great distance from the top 2 spot that would send them to the promotion matches. But then they went on a magical run that saw them go undefeated in their last 9 games, amassing 23 of their 26 points to finish second behind Met Forest. That included a massive win on the final day of the season against the then second place Lime Hall, and then to further double down on this never give up culture, they head into their crucial promotion second leg match against Falmouth FC, a goal down on aggregate, then was reduced to 10 men by only the 8th minute when they somehow go on to find a goal to take the tie into penalties, before winning promotions and penalties 5-4. And they never stopped there, as no one believed they would beat the undefeated Treasure Beach in the final, but they somehow managed to emerge Tier 2 champions after only just being promoted from the Parish League. They will need to bring this kind of fighting spirit with them into the JPL, because the league is a big jump in quality, but my God, regardless of what happens in the end, it's already a remarkable story. Key arrivals and departures. Just like Treasure Beach, Police FC's transfer movement is a bit unknown. There is word they held a very successful tryouts and signed various new players via that route. There also word that they are currently tracking a player from both Mount Pleasant and Portmore United, but nothing official to report. So for now, you could argue their biggest arrival is actually veteran coach Bradley Stewart. Information on his exact role in the club is a bit sketchy at the moment, but he definitely brings with him a huge reservoir of experience to the club. Key players to watch. On that note, Spanish Town Police FC may end up being under the cosh in majority of their JPL matches, especially against the top 6 teams. And when that happens, your goalkeeper usually comes into focus. So my key player to watch for this team is their number 1 shot stopper, John Michael Edwards, who already wrote his name in the club's folklore. A good goalkeeper will always keep you in matches until the very end, and Police FC will be hoping Edwards rises to the occasion when called upon. Their main aim this season: easy, easy, easy. They absolutely want nothing more than to survive. My predictions: but can they do it? Again, Racing and Evil Chapter Maroon surprised us all last season, but I'm currently having a hard time seeing Police FC making a move up the table by season end. Their fighting spirit may make them competitive, but I doubt it will be enough to move them from 14th place. But hey, I've been wrong before. But that will do it for this first round of season previews. We will be back again with the next 2 teams from last year's table, as we look to keep you up to date on all the teams ahead of the big start of the season on August 24th. But let me know in the comment section below your own predictions for where Spanish Town Police FC and Treasure Beach will end up this season. Otherwise, once again, thank you all for watching, and please like, subscribe and share as we look to keep you all up to date on everything in the JPL leading up to the start of the season. And for great JPL content, you're already at the right place, JPL Fan. You too, big up yourself.